It is estimated that their exchange market had a decline of approximately 4.8% from the beginning of the week to Thursday. This is something you should keep in mind because the market made a turnaround on Thursday and Friday. The market was largely risk-off during the previous week. The Federal Reserve officials made statements that increased the desirability of hazardous assets, which led to the occurrence of this situation. Because there are some extremely important figures, T are going to be released the following week. Let's talk about how the hawkish language that the Fed has been doing has made people less inclined to take chances, and immediately this kind of conversation needs to come to an end. It is imperative that the rate of inflation be reduced. A closer look at the economic evidence is required. In order for the risk on market sentiment that we have been witnessing for the past, say, 3 days and 12 hours to persist, it is essential that the dollar continues to decline. That will be discussed with us. All right, during their speech last week too, members of the Federal Reserve, Barr and Michael Barr, discussed a variety of topics, including the disappointing inflation rate and how it is not providing the Fed with the confidence it needs to reduce interest rates in the short term. In addition, they stated that the Federal Reserve will most likely have to allot additional time for the tightening of monetary policy to take effect. In the middle of the week, on Tuesday and Wednesday, the minutes of the Federal Open Market Committee meeting were made available to the general public. The FOMC meeting itself is not the same as these types of gatherings. Once more, however, the Federal Reserve's stance was reaffirmed on Wednesday when other officials stated that they wanted to see further deflation before they would even consider lowering interest rates. If inflation continued to be high and presented concerns, they stated that they would be inclined to hike interest rates once again. Is that correct? In the event that inflation does not decrease, this is still the most crucial factor to take into consideration. It is not very likely to occur, but it is not completely out of the question either. Keep in mind what I mentioned to you at the beginning of the film, shall we say. This is an example of a risk that has been informed and estimated, and as an investor or trader, you ought to give some thought to how you would handle it, all right? People were more inclined to purchase the United States dollar at the beginning and middle of the week as a result of this hawkish tone, while risky assets such as cryptocurrencies experienced a decline in appeal. Okay, as the market began to price in the middle of the week, it is anticipated that interest rates will remain high for a considerable amount of time longer. This makes individuals less likely to enter the market with the intention of taking risks. As stated previously, this is one of the reasons why the community of digital assets had a slight decrease in retracement. If you take a look at this, you will discover that the Federal Reserve made some quite harsh statements on Monday. In the middle of the week, the Federal Reserve made the following statement: they are likely to maintain higher interest rates for a longer period of time, and they are prepared to tighten monetary policy even further if inflation does not fall below their target of 2%. On Wednesday and Thursday, the stock market witnessed positive news on the labor market, which included a decrease in the number of new claims. To add insult to injury, we also saw PMI data that were satisfactory, right? As a result of the fact that the economy of the United States is still robust and resilient as well. As exhibiting signs of growth, investors become more optimistic about the dollar, which causes it to strengthen for a brief period of time. That item is visible in this location. That is not anything that I have concocted. It would appear that those large banks, computer programs, and wealthy individuals who are responsible for causing price swings in the market were taking advantage of you. Are you correct in saying that everyone else bought up here at the top? This was done because they noticed that Coinbase had relisted XRP and other cryptocurrencies. You were the target of their cruelty. Then there is a good chance that retail users who are not knowledgeable about what they are doing purchased XRP up here last week, witnessed a decline in the value of their portfolios, and began to question their own judgment. The reason that they continue to invest in cryptocurrency and purchase tops is beyond our comprehension. The statement is illogical. After that, as Thursday moved into Friday, the conversation about the market shifted. Simply said, this was due to fundamental factors. Alterations were made to the statistics pertaining to the economy of the United States, which revealed that the economy is actually declining rather than expanding. There has been and will continue to be some recession in the economy. All right, the sales of durable goods for the previous week were altered, which resulted in a decrease in the strength of the dollar. Then the forecast for inflation came in lower than it had been in the past because of the previous events. All right, I wrote to each and every one of you. I want to emphasize once more that these are significant reports that we only provide to the members of the Us.Thankx community that are not publicly known. Due to the fact that the United States dollar finished the day in a worse position, the cryptocurrency market took a pause on Friday. As a result of lower inflation expectations and an updated data on durable goods orders that showed a decrease in core durable goods orders, the dollar lost some of its strength, and risk assets were able to make up some of the ground they had lost at the beginning of the week. Market makers sold their positions at the beginning and middle of the week for two reasons: the risk-off market tone and the fact that they were beginning to price in the concept that interest rates would remain high for a longer period of time. Everyone now has a complete understanding of why market makers liquidated their positions. As a result, this has the potential to produce a transitory, and once more, this is all temporary. As a result, this involves adapting to the fluctuations in the market and being aware of the fact that the market sentiment may be risk-free one day and risk-prone the next when it comes to making money from increasing stocks rather than simply putting money in every day. Here is how you may do it, okay? This is how you begin to witness gains of 100% on your stock in the current moment as a bull market continues to expand. As a result of your knowledge of how to invest in the market, you will begin to witness a return on your money that is identical to 100%. Because of this, the values of cryptocurrencies fell during the most of the week. Next, in order to get ready for the weekend, there was some optimistic discussion about reduced inflation estimates and lower orders for durable goods immediately before the market closed on Friday. This was done in order to get ready for the weekend. Despite the fact that the revision revealed that the economy was contracting, the sales of durable goods were performing well overall. In order to see what we need to see this week, what do we need to see? We still need to take into consideration positive developments that are taking place, such as the fact that exchange-traded funds ETFs have been given the green light, that institutions are on their way, that rules are on their way, and that the infrastructure is being constructed behind the scenes. These are the factors that have been and will continue to be the driving force behind the most significant utility supercycle and speculative wave supercycle that anyone has ever witnessed. From my own perspective, I believe that it will be 10 times larger than the previous run. Is there anything that we can do right now to make the best of this situation? What are the things that we need to see right now for the entire market cap of cryptocurrencies to make up for all of the money that it lost in the month of April? Increased inflation rates and escalating geopolitical tensions, particularly over the weekend of April 12th through 14th, made risk assets less alluring. This was especially true during the full weekend. The price of gold reached new all-time highs. Gold prices have reached fresh all-time highs, and it appears that some people have no understanding why this happened. Simply said, they're thinking, oh, it's gold. This was done for a specific reason. These declines occurred as a result of investors' desire to invest in safe havens rather than hazardous assets. Because of this, the market for cryptocurrencies experienced a significant dip in the middle of April, reaching a level comparable to approximately $2 trillion. The occurrence was not a surprise. Individuals. This whole thing was founded on fundamental concepts due to the fact that these algorithms are responsible for running the market. There is a growing demand for investments that are more secure. It was observed that the flow of orders moved away from hazardous ventures and towards safe havens. To be sure, those individuals who are interested in taking risks with their possessions are once again available. In order for that conversation to continue, what do we need to discuss? What do we need to see in order for this bullish surge in cryptocurrency to continue moving in the direction that everyone wants it to go? Okay, I'll talk about that today, but we'll also talk about the antithesis of that. In the event that the market continues to decline, what actions should we take? Is it a negative thing to do? We should discuss the upcoming week, shall we? Therefore, the most important figures from the United States are being examined, which will assist in determining how the market is feeling in general. This week, we will be concentrating on data from the United States. There is a great deal of it, so please bear with me. It is my hope that the manner in which I have broken it down would make it simple for all of you to comprehend. There will be a significant number of Federal Reserve speakers and critical economic statistics about the robustness of the labor market and the pressures of inflation in the United States. Not only is this very essential, but it is also very crucial because in order for the Federal Reserve to achieve its overall goal of 2%, we need to see worse labor market statistics and disinflation occur. The Federal Reserve will be able to begin considering the possibility of decreasing interest rates as a result of these two factors. It is common knowledge that a situation in which interest rates are lower is beneficial to the economy and hazardous assets. This is due to the fact that it makes it simpler to borrow and lend